And we're live. Hello everybody. Welcome to 2025. Super excited for all the songs we're gonna work on this year. Looking forward to collaborating with many of you on the other side of the screen. So what we're gonna be looking at today is the song I have that I mixed on Wondah's project called Mukulu. Amazing song with Kemuel and Vasa. So we're gonna just start breaking it down. For now, we're just gonna listen. What I wanted to do was listen on my monitors in the room, but I think it's gonna have a clash with the audio. But there should be a simpler solution to that. So um, we'll switch in between and see what works best. We are risking it. All right, cool. Let's preview the song and get into it.
Baby, 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 making them go. I am fair. There's something about the way you whine. I know said common sense. They make me one day question my IQ. All I'm say. We get you look and I have no know. We check. Lots and lots see my tutu boy. See when you joy back, girl, it's so. And when you bounce it like that, my soul just with my feel now. What's popping, girl? Can I have your number? Baby, 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 make me them go. Girl, love you, they see, they be like me, ringa. Now you me, I want to see when I do for EBs. These are the kind things where they make my sit down. Come take away my body, someone. See when you joy back, girl.
Right, so basically that was the record. The reason I was scrolling in between is because I haven't opened this session in such a long time. So what I was trying to find was what was going on. And if you're asking what are these tassels, it's just wristbands from festivals. That I was like, I'm gonna put on my mixing headphones. It looks a bit goofy, but I like it because it's memories. Right. So I was just trying to scroll through the project so I can get familiar with everything that was going on again. I don't remember a lot at the time because I was mixing the entire project. So right now I was just scrolling through to see. But like it's my general setup. So I have music at the top, drums, bass, vocals, ad libs, and time based effects at the bottom if they printed them out to send them in. So now what we're gonna do now is look and listen to the music. We're gonna start with the mix bus actually, highest priority going down, because that's how I probably would have started. So the mix bus, same thing as always. We have the Better Maker EQ on there. Subtle mix sweetener, that preset, you can never go wrong with it. Something that has changed in the last 2 months is this. I don't have this on my mix bus anymore, the black box. What I was trying to achieve with it was, I think, more so warmth, but also like to give the mix a lot more, make it feel a bit more dense and open in a sense. But I was trying to achieve that through saturation, right? So I realized that the black box excites sounds like a lot, makes them sound a lot more exciting and energetic. So in my mix mouse personally, for most of the kind of music, or not even the kind of music, but for most music, I don't want to create the excitement in my mix bus. I want to create it in the mix. The mix bus needs to have just a holistic feel, like kind of like I'm trying to carve out a sound. But for now, this is off, but you can still use it because I used it in the song. And then we just have a limiter on there, true peak limiter. 21 color me yellow. I probably just adjusted the gain and so on. But yeah, from there, there's nothing else. This ADPTR adapter was, I think, was just so I can compare the demo and the mix that I had, but generally not much is going on here. So we're gonna have the music bus. The only thing we have going on here is this EQ, which is more so like a mastering kind of EQ vibe. Started on a preset called Open the Top. Usually because the producers pick the sound so well, like I always say in every video, where if your sound selection is right and you played it well, everything should be cool. I don't think I did anything else in particular. I think for some of the sounds like this one, which is the guitar, all I have is CLA guitar on it. Channel EQ, probably just scooping out the bottom, and in this one just to take out, suppress some of the background noise. This is a plug and play. I think it's to taste. So if it's on, like now, off. So there is a difference, but it's like, I don't want to say slight, but it's just a difference, you know. You can hear it. You just gotta put this plugin on, fiddle around with it, and see what works for you. The next thing we have on here is the sound. We're not gonna go through all the sounds bit by bit. It's just so we can get a general idea. So this sounds like the main synth throughout the song. So yeah, for majority of the sounds, if there's anything that we ever did, it was just some slight EQing, compression, and so on for the sound. So these are probably like just vocal things. Let's play it. Yeah, that thing is pretty cool. Right. The next thing we have is effects and transitions. Those are going to their own bus, which is slight EQing, a boost, around 10,000 and 1040 hertz, around there. That's where we're boosting, just 3 dB. It's a bit wide. I just think I wanted them to come out in the mid range. Then individually we did nothing. Drum bus. This did change throughout the course of this project. For some of the songs I used Orion, but for most, this is just my drum bus, which is the Better Maker. And then we have the SSL comp from Waves. I use the UAD one a lot now, or I've been just here. I use this one specifically, and we're just boosting slightly. And then we have some saturation. All I did here, I could tell, was just the tone. Lately I've been using this plugin a lot, and I've been saturating in more detail. So for the drum bass, did I try this in LS? I probably did. This is how the drums sound with. And then without. So it's ever so slight. You can feel the difference, and it comes alive a bit more. For the kick, what we had was the C2. I think I was just trying to compress so we can get the mix a bit louder. I'm sure it's not doing too much. It isn't. Around about 4. Okay, that's a bit steep. 4 dBs of compression, of reduction, I mean. Then a boost again. We were boosting. We boosted the kick, we low cut and we high passed it and low passed it just so it can focus on this area here. These are common moves that I've done if you've watched the previous channel, and especially for this project, because I was trying to keep a consistent sound but also getting out the way of the music so it can become what it needs to become. Then we have just perks, which is just EQing, guys. I'm boosting depending on feel. I'm boosting a lot actually in this mix. Just a bunch of EQing. I'm sure I'm high passing a lot. Yes, I am, and I'm just boosting so the sounds can come out. That's most of what we're doing on the drums. For the bass bus, it's going into the UAD Fairchild, nothing else. I've tried CLA bass on the drum and it didn't work out as well. Better Maker 2, it didn't work out as well. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna trust the sounds the producers chose and adjust from there. So this is how the bass is. So what sounds like the log drum, you don't want to do too much. So the first thing I did was some cutting with some EQ so I can take out frequencies that are just like bass resonance that are not that great. Then C2 just to compress again, the same thing with the kick so it's not too, I can get it louder, you know? And then the RVox, I remember this, I was rushing to this because the reason I have RVox on my log drum is because I don't know what RVox or how it does this particularly, but when you add it onto a sound like a vocal or anything else, maybe it's my ears playing a trick on me, but I trust this. It adds like this bassiness. I don't know how, but there's a weight it brings. And I just did some compression to bring out this log and so on. But for example, when I'm mixing Amapiano, I mix the log very differently to how when I mix it to this Afrobeats piano blend, particularly. Then this is a more heavier bass, I think. Yeah, it's log drummy too, so just compression on it. And then for this bass, what do we have on? Let's see. The twang. We have sub bloom. I think we wanted to bring out some more of that low end to make it very strong down there. And then boost it again a bunch of different times. I should have, in hindsight now, I probably could have done some more reductive work on it, but it sounds okay and great. The beta maker, which was a big part of this mix, I'm starting to notice, which was, I think, what was I trying to do here? Let me see. I think it was just more just to enhance slight things. And then the last bass, which is this one. Sub bloom, definitely. We wanted to get some of those sub frequencies to have those kind of vibes. Sub bloom did that really well. I think I started on a preset called Deep Boy, and then I just adjusted from there so we can come out. So this is how it sounds with it on. Off. Off. On. You felt that? It just came out just a bit more. Right, and then we go to the meat of the entire record. This is my favorite part, the vocals. Love the vocals. The vocals are important. The vocals make sure that things come alive. So for this record, I think they had this thing where Vasa would sing, then Kem would sing, then Vasa would sing, then Kem would sing. So I processed the vocals slightly different, but they had to be together. So it starts here. Okay, no, it doesn't start there.
Baby, 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 they make me them go.
That's Kem's vocals. I think that's an affected vocals. We wanted an effect. They will go through that now. Then we have Vasa.
I unfair. There's something about the way you want you. Almost said common sense.
Right. So the vocals are going into the vocal bus. What we're doing here is a shelf. I knew it's a shelf. And then we have some de-essing going into. So in the vocal lead bus, we'll have a shelf, we'll have a de-esser, then we have beta maker, then CLA to A. It's doing the same. So what my vocal bus has to do is just make the vocals a bit more brighter. That's the entire intention, and for them to feel like they're part of the record. Like for me, it's my starting point. I'd want it to be my starting point. What I do on the vocal channel itself is usually a lot more invasive, but this is a great starting point, and it helps the sound remain consistent for every song that I mix. So we have the Chris Lord Algae CLA vocals here. Again, guys, plug and play, put it on, try it out, and then you'll find settings that you like, and you'll keep using it in whatever instances that you want. Right, and then from there we have the beta maker. Bright and wide vocals is a preset that I use. I use the presets a lot on this plugin because when you open it up, it's a bit overwhelming and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? So many knobs, so many buttons. It's not as intuitive. It's very rare that I'll go in and boost things myself. I'll try out the presets. Maybe I'll dial back a bit on the bandwidth on certain sections and so on. But generally, The presets were best for this. They're very good for the better maker. I've used the hardware version of it. It was pretty cool. Yeah, just going to the Vasa's vocal. Right, so the first thing we did was this: how Vasa's vocal sounds just going through my lead vocal bus.
They make me one day question my IQ. All I'm say.
That's it, just going through the lead vocal bus. When we switch everything off on the lead vocal bus.
Baby girl, look and I have your
Off.
number for me.
On the lead vocal bus.
That's when lost see my tutu boy. See when you on more cell, common sense. They make me one day question my IQ. All I'm say. Baby girl, look.
See, that's a great starting point. Like, this is such a great starting point.
Look and I have your number for me.
Like, you can't argue with that. That's like a brilliant starting point. I think personally, I just think that's like a really good starting point. Outside of not being able to argue with it, it's like, okay, this sounds good. What more can I do? And that's what we're gonna show you. Right. Next thing we're going to, I'm trying to make this go through a preamp. I want the vocals to come out to be a bit louder. That's how it sounds.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your one more cell, common sense. They make me one day question my IQ.
Started on a preset, which is the male pop vocal clarity. I don't think I adjusted it. I think I just started on this and I left it on. And the next thing it goes into is a de-esser, then an NS1. This is just for control. To control the S's, to control the noise, and this is how it sounds with them on.
I am fair. There's something about.
Right? Then we compressed with the Fairchild right through. I think we did a slight compression. I just wanted to just tuck the peaks in just a bit.
I am fair.
Oh no, I was doing a lot actually. It was proper control, not just tucking the peaks.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your one more cell, common sense. They make me one day question my IQ.
That's great. And then we have the 1176. I think I was some more compression.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your.
And then we have then we're gonna have some subtractive EQ, I assume, via the Pro Q3. And I was right, indeed we do. This is just taking out some of the resonant frequencies. It looks like a lazy EQ, but it was doing quite enough.
I am fair.
Quite simple. Not a lot going on. Then we have the EV2.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your.
So here it sounds lighter. I'm assuming because I did this thing here, this stacking thing. So this is I did everything below 87 hertz. I just turned it all the way down, like by 3 decibels though, also 3.3 decibels. The one thing I would say I would not recommend people do anymore is what I did here, which is pressing this -20 button and then using this preamp or like this preamping thing here, this mic button, and turning it up to get some saturation. Don't do it. It's digital. It doesn't work that well. I think I was trying it out and it was great at the time. It worked well for this record, but there's better ways to achieve the same results. Yeah.
I am fair.
Next thing was the pull tech. I think I needed to bring some of the weight back.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your one more cell, common sense. They make me one day question.
Didn't do that too much, but the vocals still remain light.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your one more.
Bringing in some of that fresh air. This is my EQing section. The next thing was the studio tape. I think I just wanted to round off the high end. All the high end I brought, when it runs through a tape, it does a nice rounding.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your one more cell, common sense.
Then I put a metaflanger on, just to get some ambience. The mix is literally on 1. Look, it's on 1. It's not doing much. Yeah, but that's how we got Vasa's vocals, and then we went into the time-based effects.
I am fair. There's something about the way you wind your one more.
First thing was a delay, just going into a flanger so we can get it to be very, whimsically in a vibe. and it has its own space. Then it's probably reverb. Indeed, it is our verb.
I unfair.
But what I did here, I used the bedroom setting. So it makes it sound like it's in a room, like a tiny little room. It has some reflections, but it's not like reverby the way you think about it. Then it goes, we cut some of the high end off, meta flanger, S1 for spreading. And then it created that room. I think what it does is it allows the vocals to come in, but it creates like a space for them to be in, excluding like the reverbs, like other reverbs out end. So it puts it in a really nice space that I like. I don't want to say think of it like parallel processing. It is running parallel, but don't think about it like parallel compression. Think about it as like there's this space this vocal is in. It's not like a huge space, but it's this tiny space that allows the vocal to be ambient and come alive. And ambience not in a very whimsical, bright kind of way, in just a yo, I'm in the room with this person kind of a vibe. So that was Vasa's vocal. Next thing was Kim's main vocal. Same procedure. I probably just made different moves for him because his vocal is different. So let's see. Din, 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 din. Yes, you see, the subtractive EQ I did here is very different to how I did for Vasa. There's slightly a bit more going on in different places, but it's the same styling. I did it same way stylistically, right? And then for the rest of the vocals, it's background vocals like the lead harmony and the backing vocals. But in this video, what we're going to be going through is just the main vocal and the beat. For the backing vocals, technically I'll treat them as one whole vocal, because majority of the time how Kim sends me his vocals is he'd already have some kind of processing on. So if we look at these individual channels, I'm not doing much, but on the main bus that I'm feeding into, there's a lot going on, and I processed it like the main vocals just differently so it fits better into the song, but it doesn't have the same kind of presence. And then for the ad-libs, what I'd usually do was create different spaces for them. What I'm doing a lot now is using early reflections, just so that they orientate a different place in the mix. But yeah, that's the record. It's Mukulu by Kemuel and Vasa. Well, Wondah featuring Kemuel and Vasa. Great song. It was the lead single for the project. Had so much fun mixing this. Actually, it was the first song I mixed for the project. It set the tone really, 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 really well. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you need any mixing and mastering services, please do not hesitate to hit me up. I will be prompted the responses on WhatsApp, email, or Instagram. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.